Welcome back to Newsmaker Live. Thank you very much for staying tuned. We're taking your calls on the program. We're speaking here with Mr. Michael Shastney. Of course, he is the biggest businessman on the island, also the father of Alan Shastney, who just assumed the leadership of the United Workers' Party. We have a call on the line. Good evening, caller. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, hi, good night. If you were given the opportunity, as Mr. Shastney, to become Governor General, would he accept it?
That's an interesting question. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, but I'm afraid not.
Why is that?
Because I'm too easygoing a person. I'm too independent, and I've had the opportunity to visit Government House a couple of times when my friend Sir Vincent was acting Governor General, and the pace is a little too slow for me.
And you'd not be able to wear your shorts and your sandals as you'd like to.
Precisely, yes. I couldn't qualify for that job. Thank you so much, though. I appreciate it.
We have another call. Good evening. Please go ahead.
Yes,
Okay, I'm getting a great difficulty in hearing you, sir.
yeah, I just want to say good night to you and team guest.
Okay, good night.
Okay, I just want to say to Mr. Shastney, I applaud the fact that he's standing up in the sun, but I want to shift the focus from him onto his son. Really, I felt that his son had a big heart, and not only him, but Honorable King. And it was a process that he had to go through.
Okay, I'm sorry, caller. I mean, I can't hear what you're saying, and I don't know if Mr. Shastney can hear you. We have a terrible connection, so we'll have to drop this call and try to get another call. We were talking about the picking of the team. I'm sure that this is something that has gone through the mind of Alan and the team that he had going into the convention. What are some of the characteristics that he's looking for?
Yeah, I think it's really a little too soon to tell, because they've just got over this thing. They've taken a beating for the last 3 months, and I don't think they're quite ready for that yet. Because there's a lot of soul searching to do there. But one thing I feel that they're looking for a very great team of people they can work with, people who have something really good to contribute, educated people, honest people who want to see St. Lucia go forward, because we have a huge job ahead of us, Linton. Very huge task ahead of us to bring this country up. We want some strong people there.
We have another call. Good evening. Thanks for holding, caller. Please go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Shastney, do you believe that Richard Frederick is a liability or a detriment as it stands now to the success of the United Workers' Party? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think that question is better answered by the electorate. The electorate has to make that decision, I mean, right now the guy has a seat in Parliament, okay? He was voted in, so I think that is something that the chairman of the party and the party members will have to revisit and to make the decision, because what they want is to be able to win seats if they want to win the government.
But do you see that he has a future with the new United Workers' Party? I think we discussed that a bit earlier on.
Clinton, I'm not that involved in politics to go that deep into the party. I know they have their issues, and it's left to the chairman of the party. He has to he has the last call on that, I think. The chairman is very strong, and he will make the right decision.
Now, what we have seen in recent times is the sacrificing of good people, as you put it, for people who are able to garner or galvanize the vote.
Correct.
Will we, or can we expect to see a movement away from that going forward?
I think so. I think you're going to see that. I think that sometimes that's some short-sightedness.
We have another call. Good evening, caller. Thanks for holding. Please go ahead.
Yes, Clinton. Mr. Shastney, good evening.
Good evening.
What I want to say is, do not answer them hypocrites that talking crap on your station, right? You are a businessman. Stephen King is a good prime minister, okay? It's not his fault that things didn't work out for him. He lost, okay, fine. We somebody new for us to do something good for our country. Okay, so the hypocrites that calling you and tell you crap about your business or whatever, you're not into politics, you're just supporting your son. Your son is a good man, he came in to do his work, let him do his work. Thank you, sir. Good evening.
Thank you very much for that contribution.
We appreciate the call.
And time passes so quickly when you're having fun. I mean, there's so much to discuss,
yeah.
and we have the phone ringing off the hook. Good evening.
good night.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, hello, good night.
Hi, good night. Please go ahead.
Oh, yes, good. I listened to Mr. Shastner a while ago, and he was saying how King was a little too soft, okay, and how Kenny is a little too full. And had Compton been there, then it would have been like a guarantee too that he would have won the election. But between Kenny and Compton, who has been a more rugged and stringent leader? Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, scholar.
They're two different men. I'm not saying Sir John was not an educated man. He was. Kenny is a very well-educated gentleman. He's a constitutional lawyer. But the experience that John Compton had over the 35 years. But I also want to say one thing. What Sir John did in his lifetime, it was difficult for Kenny because times have changed.
Right.
He could get away with a lot more, you know. He could bulldoze his way through. But you see, when a man is hard and he's progressive and producing, people tend to forgive them because I tell you, for instance, my brother was a civil engineer, very well qualified guy. He worked under John Compton when he was the Prime Minister. And he felt that himself and Sir John couldn't get on. He actually left St. Lucia because of Sir John. Because my brother actually, again, he wasn't a party man, but he was very close to the Labour Party. The days of Collie Moore and those guys, he got on very well with them, okay? But he felt Sir John was the Prime Minister of the country, and he felt he couldn't. But I'll tell you one thing, many years later, my brother came back to St. Lucia, and when he saw the Million Highway, he told me, he said, I take my hat off to that guy, because I, as an engineer, would have said, not that it was impossible to build physically, but the amount of homes you had to take out to get and do that work. He said he thought it was an impossible task. So, and he said, you know something, you have to hand it to the guy. And you see, these are the things that take place. Even, for instance, a person like Alan coming in now. Let us assume Alan becomes leader of the party, becomes the Prime Minister of this country. The things Kenny was able to do when he got in, he will not be able to do it because people are that much more savvy today. You have to explain and guide your way through very carefully. That is the problem. Yeah.
We have another call. Thanks for holding, caller. Please go ahead with your question.
Good evening, Mr. Shastri.
Good evening.
Mr. Shastri, the word on the ground is that times are hard and everybody's crying. Don't you think that the cost of food and eating and drinking are one of the main reasons why people are crying? And if you think that is what it is there anything you can do to help curb the prices at your supermarket?
Okay. Just,
Thanks for your question.
I'm going to answer the question back to front. First of all, we are continually trying, honestly and truly, to get the best prices possible. But the problem is, whether you get the prices right down and the man has no money in his pocket, he still can't buy. I think the way to go is you have to increase the money supply in St. Lucia to be able to survive, because people have no money, my brother. That is the problem. I see it myself. I don't need anybody to tell me. I live in a world not in a glass case. I'm out there with the ordinary man. I know exactly what's going on. I have people working for me, even people who are getting a salary, a good salary. I find it difficult. I mean, I have the staff at my office. I think I pay them very well, but when I sit with them, and even though they get $5,000, $6,000 a month, I know to have 1 or 2 children on that, you can barely exist on that. Can you imagine? I mean, when I hear people paying a laborer, like somebody was saying $3 an hour or something like that, my lowest people get $6, $7 an hour. I mean, more than that, $8 an hour, you know. Ordinary guys, maintenance guys, you know, gardeners, you know, and they get all kind of perks to go with it, you know. And and things are tough with them because I talk to them every morning at my home on a one-to-one basis. I know what's going on. So it's not a matter of, you cannot, we don't manufacture anything in St. Lucia. Everything is imported. You know, I could then say to the government, okay, you know something, I'm paying 30% duty on what I'm bringing in there. Waive the duty. So the Prime Minister is going to say to me, hey, but if I waive the duty, how am I going to pay the government salaries? It's a vicious circle, you know, and that's the problem that we have. We got to invigorate the economy so people will have a better standard of living.
And how do we do that?
As I told you before, I've told the Prime Minister time and time again, let us go to Trinidad. I'm telling you, Clinton, we need to go to a place like Trinidad. They have three people together in Trinidad have more money than the St. Lucia government, okay? You come here, we have a lot of good land that's available. Now, when I say land, facilities, let me just say something. I probably said it so many times, people are probably tired of hearing me saying that. You take, for instance, Clinton, the waterfront,
right?
Okay? From the banana shed going right down to Latok, the road is collapsing. You can get somebody to come in and sheet pile the thing, bring it 30, 40 feet up, you can get 2 cruise ships to go there. Because over by the other side, where they, not Point Seraphin, the other, where the Coast Guard station is, government have 20 acres of land, prime land. What they're doing it, they throw sand on it and so forth for the last 20 years, okay? You can put up a new Point Seraphin there with a berth, okay? But do not borrow money for that. You need to get investors to come in, invest that there, and you share the profits with them, and over a period, when it's paid for, it gets back. I remember talking to Patterson, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, 20 years ago, okay? And I used to fly, it took half an hour to fly on a jet from Kingston to Montego Bay. And I said to him, but PM, that don't make sense. I mean, you can put a road in, do a toll road. I'm not saying I advise him what to do, but what did he do? He got the French to put in a road that cost $850 million US, and they gave them 15 years, and they put the tolls in it. The thing paid for itself in 5 years. And they said to him, what do you want to do? Pay down the loan faster, or build more roads? He said, build more roads. If you go to Jamaica today, up Ocho Rios or up Montego Bay, you think you're in the US, right? Take the road that the PM wants to build from Dennery to go up north. Excellent idea. Government should not borrow that money. They need to bring in a contractor from, I keep saying Trinidad, but we somewhere else, and put a toll on it, you know? Look at me. You have a helicopter flying and making, I think, 400 trips a week in season. And people pay $115 US one way to view fort for 10 minutes, okay? If you put a proper road and you get you get the people the Southern Taxi to get together, get some nice vans that can carry 35 people, and you put a toll of say $10 US on the ticket, and that's paid on the ticket, and that money goes on a Sunday. You have 2,500 people landing in 2.5. That's 5,000 people in one day. You know, I've told the PM those things. He told me that he did an exercise and that it doesn't make sense. I don't agree, but then that's what I would do, you know. But we cannot continue to borrow money. It's the same thing with Alba, okay? My concern about Alba is this. They're going to sell you fuel, says $100 a barrel. And the Venezuelans say, only pay us $40 now, and we finance you 60%. Now, what's going to happen in 15 years' time? Where are you going to get the money to pay back the Venezuelan government? That is the worry that we have.
And I mean, we have to leave here with more questions than answers. But of course, we'll have you back here very, very soon so we can continue our discussion. It's always a pleasure to have you on Newsmaker Live. Mr. Michael Shastny speaking here with us. Just a program reminder. This weekend we have the Press Club. The RAS is back. Jason Sifley will join me this weekend for the Press Club, where we'll review mainly the UWP convention that took place last Sunday. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Clinton Reynolds, inviting you to join us again next week at the same time for another program. But don't forget the Press Club coming up this weekend. Bye for now.